Here we go again with the New Testament lying on the Old Testament to validate itself. In order to pull it off, they have to make the Pharisees and Jews be about some of the most ignorant people concerning the scriptures. Because there's no way they would be dumbfounded with these little goofy clapbacks and quotes that Jesus uses. For example, in Matthew 22, Jesus asked the Jews, whose son is the Messiah? So, in typical Jewish fashion, they respond, a son of David. Jesus replies, how is it then that David, speaking by the Spirit, calls him Lord? For he says, the Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I put your enemies under your feet. If then David calls him Lord, how can he be his son? No one could say a word in reply. And what I mean by the Pharisees can't be this dumb is because they would have known Jesus was taking this shit way out of context. The trick here in the translation is to get you to believe that David called his descendant Lord, when the verse just implies that Yahweh, who's the Lord, told David, who is this scribe's master, that all of his enemies would become his footstools. The modern Christian version of Bibles took the word master and changed it to Lord with a capital L, and somehow this verse becomes about Jesus. When all Jesus could have meant was that if David was talking and wrote that passage, that the Lord had to be the Messiah. Because according to the New Testament's made-up genealogies, if Jesus comes from the line of David, then he should have no problem with them saying a son of David, because they surely used Joseph in the book of Matthew to link Jesus to David. I don't know how Christians fall for these types of misinterpretations and games, but it just proves what I tell you all. Christians don't read the Old Testament for context or understanding. They just allow people to tell them how to read it by skipping around the book, and you'll never get any context by jumping around in the passages. I'll let you all tell it. I'm wrong for following the context correct. But it is what it is, man. Cello the Great. 100.